Hi, I'm Darius Lahutifa. Today we are going to talk about sales culture versus sales methodology. People often confuse sales culture with sales methodology used within a sales culture. Sales culture is a set of habits and behaviors of a sales team in a consistent way. That's both internally and externally. Internally, the culture is defined through the relationship among salespeople themselves, as well as those between sellers and their managers, their VPs. Externally, the culture is defined through the relationship between salespeople and the customers, sometimes through the way terms and conditions and contracts are applied in the field. Usually, companies with great sales culture are known as such in the industry by the clients, by the competitors, by people when they're recruiting people. That's how the reputation of a company's sales team is built. People are rarely indifferent to companies with strong cultures. Some are attracted by them and some dislike them. Examples of companies with strong sales cultures are IBM, Xerox, PTC, Oracle, and many others. A sales methodology, on the other hand, is about strategies, techniques, and tactics used during a sales campaign. It's a way of doing business. A sales methodology is neutral in regards with culture. Its focus is on business. It's a bit like religions and diets. A sales methodology to a sales culture is a bit like a diet to a religion. Let's take some examples. Eating fish once a week, which is a good diet, is called Friday fast for Christians. Eating fish once a week, which is good for you, will not make you a Christian. Fasting for a month with no food from sunrise to sunset, which is a good healthy diet, is the Ramadan for Muslims. Fasting will not make you a Muslim. A good healthy diet is not just good for you, but it's necessary for your health. Just like a good sales methodology is necessary for running a healthy business. It can be adapted inside a sales culture, usually together with a sales process, but it's not mandatory. Actually, the way a given methodology such as MEDDIC is applied to sales process A at company A with their culture A is not the same as it's adapted in company B, who has a culture B and has figured their winning sales process, which is process B. The only habit common in all these sales cultures that you need for a good sales methodology is discipline. The same way you need a discipline for a diet to lead to a healthy lifestyle, you need discipline in the execution of your winning sales methodology, no matter what it is. Sometimes customers ask, well, MEDDIC came from PTC. Does that mean that we need to adopt a PTC type culture? The answer is no. At PTC, where we invented MEDDIC, there was also a strong sales culture. But the way I teach MEDDIC is not related to that culture at all. And I actually didn't approve everything in that culture. For instance, I was the first manager to successfully promote a sales engineer to a sales rep position. It was not in the culture of the company. I had to literally fight for it and do it right after we signed an $8 million contract with the customer and appoint the sales engineer to account manager in that account that he knew well, so that I knew that I was taking minimum risk. And it worked. So that was not in the culture. Another example, I hired the first female sales rep in Europe, while there were already about 100 sales reps in Europe. So it was not in the culture of the company. It was not that there was established rules against women, but the fact was that there were no women in sales. But I absolutely loved the go-getter culture. I immensely loved the culture of discipline, hardworking, positive attitude, entrepreneurship, startup, stock options. So there are a lot of things in that culture that I loved, but not everything. So a culture you may like and feel yourself inside that culture or not, that's debatable and depends on your personality and your style, while a methodology is a process. It's almost mathematic. And it's interesting. Sometimes during our MEDDIC workshops, I'm asked, how do you ask this? How exactly do you tell them this hard thing? And I reply, this is how I ask it. And I give them my answer, the way I do it. But if based on your culture and your personality, you feel more comfortable asking it in another way, then go for it. Be yourself. Apply your style. Apply your culture. But you need to ask that question. That's not negotiable. The question needs to be asked. You need that answer for your own business. The sales culture has also a geographic dimension. We don't build rapport with clients after hours the same way in Asia versus Europe versus the US. This comes from someone who has lived in Asia, in Europe, and in the US. The fundamental reasons for decision makers are the same in different cultures, but the way you ask questions and present things are different. That's why high-end sales jobs are being compensated this well. That's why with all the automation going on, sales jobs in high-end, high-value, competitive markets are the last to automate. We need the analytical and the rational mind to understand the client and the personal style and the right culture to ask questions and deliver the message. I hope this distinction between sales culture and sales methodology makes sense. If you're a sales leader, I encourage you to keep your company's culture, but apply the winning methodology. If you're an individual contributor watching this, a salesperson, I encourage you to keep your style, be yourself, but understand how MEDDIC works, learn it, make it a habit, and win with it. Thank you.